the end, any extra message, the end of this homestand and this stretch of games, like it's been pretty crazy for you. Anything special about getting through this one and then maybe enjoying some time in Florida?
No, just keep doing what we're doing. Obviously Montreal's coming in hot, 4 in a row. That's good. Like I said, no matter who we play, it's best we get everyone's best. We know where we're at. We're starting to get a little bit healthier. We hope over the next month we get Drake and Norris back, and then push ourselves here, for a couple months and see what happens.
Coach, teams still now play one another game in the NHL. Do you believe that we're starting to see the real teams still good?
I think there's a lot more there. I think you're starting to see the tip of the iceberg. I think as his confidence, his strength, and the more he learns the league, you're going to see even more dynamic stuff offensively. I think he'll get stronger defensively. Faceoffs will get better. I mean, he's 19 years old. So, if you look at some of the guys around the league, some of the best players, what they look like at 19, the other day I was reading something on Austin Matthews, 36 goals, where was he at 19 and what were his numbers and what's he doing today. So, Tim Stützle at 24, 25, I think is going to be a lot different than he is today.
Do you have a realistic minute count you want to keep Colin White at tonight?
No. I think game one, you always got a little more energy anyways. I think it's going to be how he plays, how he's going, how things are going, how the game's going. Is there a lot of penalties? Is there a lot of penalty kills, what have you? But I think fair assessment, he hasn't played the entire season. You'd like to get him somewhere between 13 and 17 minutes tonight. We'll see how that goes.
And this might be a tough one for you to remember, but the last road game you ever played in the NHL as a player was in Tampa. Marty St. Louis was part of that team, and I'm wondering if you have any. It's tough to maybe recall a specific game, but your thoughts as a defenseman, did you think about St. Louis, Le Cavalier, and that was kind of right in that 02-03 window when they were getting real good?
Not so much in the NHL. I played against him in the minors. He was in St. John, New Brunswick, when I was in the St. John's Maple Leafs. Played head-to-head against him. Back then, I don't think anyone thought that he was going to end up being the player that he was. He was in Calgary's farm system in the minors. And he was just like any one of us down there. He was a good player, but he was like the rest of us trying to scratch and claw his way out of there. So, what he ended up doing with his career from where he was that day is exceptional.
Surprised to see him in the coaching business. Marty.
Yeah, for sure. He wasn't coaching in pro hockey, and then here he is. So, but when you play that amount of games and you play in the league as long as you have, that gives you a certain step up over a lot of people and a lot of things, and gives you a lot of time to think about what you liked, what you didn't like. But the hard part about coaching is not what you do in year one or year two. It's how you stay in the league and how, after 200 games or whatever it is, you look at some of the best coaches in the league, the Barry Trotz and these guys, they do it year after year after year. That's the hard part of coaching. When you first come on the scene, much like myself, you're full energy and you have all these, when the grind starts, 8-10 years, if that's what he wants to do. Obviously he's done so well in his own life that he can choose to do what he wants. But the hard part of coaching is doing it year in, year out.
DJ, tonight wraps up the stretch of 13 home games in 16. I remember at the very start of that you said you guys wanted to find a home identity. Did you feel you found that?
I think just our identity in general is playing one system, all of us together. No matter what your system is as a coach, if everyone's doing it, you got a chance to win. And I think when we win, we're all on the same page.
It's nothing new with Tomashev, but he's playing a ton of minutes. His ice time close to 27 minutes. The second one on your team, it's 5 minutes less with Artem Zoom. Do you need to be careful now that he's back from the minor injury, or it's the same deal with him?
Nah, I don't think so. What 30 games to go or so? We're not going to play him, too many times. I would think 30 minutes. We're moving the minutes around and sharing them, and we're hopeful to get Sanderson here at the end, and he'll get some minutes. But I'm not worried. Shabby, and I've said this before, is one of the toughest guys that I've coached. Mentally, physically, just he can take a pounding and he plays every day, he's not going to get tired.